Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Shadowverse. So I have like a Dragoncraft deck that I've last selected, and I guess it's the last selected one that shows up on this menu. In the struggles to get the daily quest done, there was 2 quests that could have been done, and I finally got done by getting 4 victories with Dragoncraft. But it was quite a struggle, and I actually had to build my own deck, and even building my own deck, I still realize that I really don't have a lot of cards. But we're here to do the single player stuff. This advertisement says new story chapter 9 through 14, Invasion of the World Reaver. So when we go to the main story here, yeah, 9 through 14, apparently, ooh. So that tells me that there's more story after this point, after we even catch up. So, yeah, we need to hurry, I guess. That's about the only thing we can do. The problem with telling a story where it's 8 characters and they each have their own turn of events and then they all merge together is that there really is never a great point to tell that kind of tale. Either you have the kinds of cuts you would have in television where every couple of minutes you go from the A plot to the B plot to a C plot, and in this case you would have to go to 8 different plots pretty much, or you tell one full story with Arissa like we have played so far, and then you just rewind time and you figure out the story of Erica, and then you move on, rewind time again, and figure out the story for the next person, then the next person, then the next person, and at least you maintain some linear storytelling at that point. But it's just never really a good system. Now, if this were a book and you had, say, a main hero and a group of sidekicks, maybe that works a little bit better. Like, for instance, the Harry Potter series is telling the story of Harry Potter. If after the entirety of that Harry Potter series was done, they decided to write a spin-off story that rewound time back to the beginning of the first book and tell the life and times of Hermione Granger, that would work because you'd already established that fandom and that love, and people liked Hermione well after the whole story had been established and the Harry Potter series had been proven to be a major success. What you wouldn't want to do is potentially put out the Philosopher's Stone and focus around Harry Potter, and then put out another book that rewound time at that point and told the events of the Philosopher's Stone from the perspective of Hermione Granger, and then rewound that and released a 3rd book that then told the exact same events from the perspective of Ron Weasley. In fact, in most books, what you'll do is you'll have just the author decide when he wants to tell the story from a different perspective and just put that little chapter in the main story, either by having, say, Ron Weasley recall the events from his perspective if he needs to tell the main character that. In a video game format, you're in a different position because they basically have shown that they want us to go through 15 games to get 15 rewards, and I am kind of upset that none of the rewards so far have been gems. Seems like that premium currency is not something you can ever collect, and it does seem like that's the only thing you can do for a few of the aesthetic cosmetic change things that are available for sale. But it's not really a big deal if I miss out on a few cosmetics. Let's hop into the game. It might get to the point where I may just need to skip the battles, But then at that point, I don't know what I'm showing. This is the same intro text each time.
I'll start preparing.
The princess has returned.
I think what an editor would do is he would cut down
Without you,
the
I was about
events
to die of loneliness.
and merge more
You're
of the people
teasing me.
together as groups to start
Am
with.
I?
If the
You
all
know how
8
shy I
leaders
am.
met
I'm sorry about that.
at the beginning
To
of the
tell the
story
truth, it's serious business that brought
and
me
then
back.
they started
There's
playing
reason to believe
as a
something
group,
happened at
that'd be
Darkstone
helpful.
Castle. The banishing place? You can't be serious. I know.
So
What
Erica
happened
is
Right
like
now,
a guard
that's anybody's guess.
for the princess, or
Then we need to act
a
immediately.
friend of the princess, or
Exactly.
a lover of the
I
princess.
need you to go to the castle and check on its resident. I'll start preparing. I knew I could rely on you.
So it seems like they're once again going to do the thing where there's a
Erica, what is that?
significant other
Stand back! I have this covered!
that's gonna get kidnapped by the shadows, which is gonna be a very repeated plot if that's true for all of them.
You must die!
And see, at this point it just starts you with 5, so if it had just stayed with 5, and it doesn't even make you pick a deck. Some swordcraft cards have an officer trait, others are a commander trait. These traits work together to become even stronger. I already kind of know this, but like this full hand-holding tutorial does work fairly well, but then they drop that by about the 3rd game. Ninja Master has ambush. This means until your Ninja Master attacks, the opponent can't attack it or target it with abilities. Kinda knew that.
I live by the sword.
And it seems like my custom settings on the mouse have disappeared again, at least for the moment. There is also a simplistic background you can enable in multiplayer. Execution. Ambush prevents Ninja Master from being targeted, so your opponent had to target your fighter instead. I haven't seen anybody play any cards with execution as a phrase. Royal Banner is a commander card that boosts the attack of officer followers. Use Royal Banner to strengthen your Ninja Master. Officer and commander counters work together to become more powerful. Finish off the enemy leader with your Ninja Master. So like, super simple here. There's no way you could have screwed this up at all. And you literally can't change any of the settings at all. So that just taught us 3 cards
Pleasure was all mine.
and the general concept of what is going on with the swordcraft. So why not, for the next 14 puzzles, continue down that path, give us different cards, give us a very like scripted experience, and let us learn the cards better. And maybe at the final battle, that should be the point, by the 15th, that you fight somebody with 20 health and actually have to play a game. Swordcraft is especially good at strengthening followers. Royal Banner is now yours. Add it to your deck and play a story match. It didn't kidnap the princess.
Where did the creature come from? I don't know. But something is afoot. I have a bad feeling. Please depart as soon as you can. If more of those creatures were to appear in my absence... I'll keep guards close by. Between their blades and mine...
I'd say the voice acting here
Understood.
feels
Farewell, princess.
a little weird. Like, probably just the fact that we barely have heard just a few sentences from both of these characters, but that princess voice does not really feel like it matches that face at all. Which might be something as simple as I've heard a voice very similar to that by that voice actor or by a similar voice actor and seen a completely different face. That is a problem if you watch a lot of dubbed anime, is that if you, for instance, know Spike's voice actor and recognize his voice, you'll probably imagine Spike whenever you hear his voice in other shows. What's the name of the show I'm trying to reference that Spike is in? It's super popular, but I don't remember the name of it. Cowboy Bebop is what I'm talking about. Okay. So we'll just play these recommended guards.
This looks dire. No guards in sight, and the coffin's wide open.
And then we're still having a problem
Here. State your business
where there's a sometimes internal dialogue in parentheses, but
Urias
sometimes there's no parentheses in the lips just don't flap.
Those beasts are under
at
your
all.
command.
Excuse me?
Don't play innocent. As an enemy of the crown, you must die.
I think if they could kill the vampire, they would have done it by now. Well, that kept it short and sweet. I'll have to applaud that. It's just like, you must die, huh? Okay, that gets us into the game fairly quickly. What's interesting about choosing the simple background, which you probably would be only really something you'd want to do if you were playing on a cell phone that was pretty weak. There's it doesn't really just give you a solid color black background or something like that. It still gives you a like sandy Coliseum looking area. It just doesn't do the animations or anything like that. Let's see if we can even set it. No? Yeah, there's no background option in game here. Alright, well, put this Princess Strike in your hand for 1 mana, or I could put one of the following cards in my hand, or wait till 7th turn, or I can put this in my hand. I have no idea what these cards do though, so puts a random 11 follower from your deck into your hand, recovers 2 play points. If another follower is in play, recover 3. If another 11 card. Alright. So we select that one first. So this is a seeming like a whole strategy around playing 11 cards.
Let's have a sweet time.
Which, if this is called Meet the 11 Sisters, then I imagine it's fairly obvious what's going on here, that there's 3 of them.
Entertain me.
Your life.
But they immediately bump this guy up to 10 health, and I don't know if there's really a good reason for that. Recover a play point.
Don't call me short.
Go and attack
I
that.
had a great time. Let's have a sweet time.
I live by the sword! Grant me what is yours!
I think there is definitely just this extra element that needs to be considered in this, where do this
I found you!
and put a tree, and then do this and put a tree, and then that lets me draw a card. Yeah, there kind of is this point where it's not super logical to try to go through all the chapters, but I don't know when I would do it really if I don't do it at front. Because you would just be sitting on these rewards that you should get them as quickly as possible, but because this game is 4+ years old, there's just a lot of main story to catch up on. Okay. Adept Thief. Where did the other 11 character? Yeah, we play this.
Glory to the Sky Knights.
And this one. Okay. Can't do this. I can do this. And wish I knew what a Princess Strike is. 2 play points, swordcraft spell, deal randomly 3 damage. Okay.
Now, behold true virtue!
Alright. Deals 5 damage instead. Okay.
You are done for.
Don't stop. We've got him cornered. Rush on him.
I'm still hungry.
There we go.
Our lines are in disarray.
Your strength becomes mine!
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm in this weird position where I don't know which way I feel about this. Whether I should just skip the battles and then play those off screen as daily quests and things happen, or then just hope it hits that. I managed to do it. Because we could churn out the main story like in a reasonable 20 episodes if I skip the battles. But if I have to stick to the battles, we're going to go probably 60 episodes to 100 episodes. That just seems like a lot of work. And I guess at the core of it, we're I'm at odds with what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to make good content that people want to watch, and I'm trying to learn how to play the game and get the rewards. And I don't think those are going to work together. So let's... I mean, it's not going to be very interactive, but I think... See, randomly put different 11 things in the field. I think I need to do adapt thief.
It takes a thief to catch a thief.
Gilded necklace gives +1/+1. And then do adapt theft again. And gilded necklace.
To catch a thief.
Yeah, let's just watch this as if it was basically just a visual novel. Tell me I should have evolved that. I could have won right then. And skip the play. And then I'll just have to do everything twice.
I failed. Witness the power.
Yeah. This is kind of a great example of when being a video game critic and making content on YouTube, you sometimes just have to make decisions on the fly and change things up. Let's see how this works.
Devotion thunders in my core.
Where's my knight in shining armor?
Alright.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
So yeah, that'll be the last game we play. We're gonna just try and rush through the story
The pleasure was all
and see what it is. Even though we kind of know what the story is too. We're basically gonna go for the entire words, and that's it. Like,
You are a promising opponent.
Enough. This ends here. Yeah.
So it does.
I should have foreseen this.
I beg your pardon. My hours have been stolen. And so I must spend them with great care.
Urias, wait! Time to change outfits.
Do I have to?
Princess.
I'm kidding.
now we're getting a flashback.
Ha ha ha.
Your birthday is coming up soon, isn't it? We should celebrate like we used to.
You have more important business to attend to.
Erica, you're always so bashful. Let me give you something you've wanted.
That is a gracious offer, but to be in your service is gift enough. Let's finish getting ready.
Yep, I saw that coming.
Huh?
Some
Urias.
Yuri
Where has
bait,
he gone?
as it were. Yuri
I
being
need to
the
warn the
Japanese word
princess.
for female and female gay relationships. Skip battle, enable voice, start and go. And we will just skip the battles on everything. So she fought
Where have you taken Losaria?
Urias the vampire,
That shout.
and then she bumps into Orisa. We
Someone's
saw
being
this
attacked.
point.
Are you hurt? I'm moving in.
No, I'm fine.
Now maybe we'll get lucky and it will turn out that Orisa's story is like 15 chapters, but everybody else's
no match for me.
story is only like 4 chapters.
Take that one.
If that were the case, then it would be at least more reasonable, but they probably should tell you that if that was going to be the case. because I'm assuming that is totally not the case.
That was us, wasn't it?
They seem
And
like
again, if
exact
all the other
copies.
leaders only had
I'm
like
Arisa.
4 fights or
I'm sorry.
4
you are?
bits of story
My
that were
name is
integrated into Arissa's
Thank
story,
you, Erica. I'm
then
really glad you were around.
it really makes a great
It's
argument
nothing.
that the
Do you have
first
any idea
chapter
what
should
made
just
them
be
attack you?
one long linear story that jumps between the focus of several characters.
No, I'm not really sure. But they took my best friend.
I'm sorry.
And if I was
I'm
gonna
going to
write
find her,
this,
though.
I would
As a
have
matter of fact, I'm looking for someone too.
uh,
A friend of yours?
Not exactly,
yeah,
but he's one of the most important things in my life right now.
and he's talking.
I could never
She's
let him slip
talking
away.
about
It
Urias.
sounds like he's lucky to have someone so dedicated. I'm sure you'll find him. It was good to meet you.
Good luck.
Yeah, I would write this so that everybody was
You
coming
can't run
together.
fast enough, Urias.
Coming together to the castle for a conclave. Like the princess is having a conclave between many different clans. Everybody's invited to like discuss diplomacy or something. At that point, you can have like a large celebratory like meal and such, and establish a lot of the characters and establish a lot of the relationships and then you could have the North Star appear and monsters attack that conclave, and then the whole group, as a group, all 8 of the leaders, could then start chasing the monsters at that point. And then the story could stay very connected and linear. And
It's more of them.
this really will only be like maybe an hour to
They're
go
going
through all
after
this
someone.
story if we don't do the fights.
Is everything okay?
Who are you?
Where do I know you from? Call me Sumeragi. You're from the army, aren't you? Allow me to join forces.
Thanks. My name's Dragspear. You take one, and I'll get the other.
It's funny they're saying
Rowan
their last
Dragspear?
names.
The one who went missing in action?
They're saying the last names in a very Japanese style.
Come on, let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
Princess.
Can't save anyone.
It's kind of redundant to have 2 members of
You tore right through them.
the guard.
Rowan.
One member of the army, one
You'd have
I
to
guess
be with
of
the
the
army
royal
to know
guard.
my name.
I'm a royal attendant. I heard that you went missing in action, but you're alive.
Let's say I'm on a mission. I take it they've got you investigating those beasts.
Them and Urias Formond. It looks like they might be connected. Any leads would help.
Well, as a matter of fact,
You can't be serious.
I fought him a little while back.
Where is he now?
You
Did he
can
say
definitely
anything?
tell the ridiculousness.
Not
You have the
much.
guy just
Right as
covered,
he left, he
every
asked about
inch of his
Balthazar.
flesh is covered in armor.
As in
And
Balthazar
then
the Great?
you have a
Banisher
very
of vampires and king of the realm?
anime style, very
Urias
little,
might want revenge.
very
Gonna have a
little
hard time
coverage
trying, though.
and
No,
opportune
he's headed to the
cleavage and leg
castle.
showing
I'm
with
grateful for all your help.
suspenders to
Hey!
hold up the boots and
Yes?
useless belts.
I wouldn't have pegged the princess's handmaiden as such a warrior.
I am her sword and her shield. She is my everything.
Oh,
Goodbye. I have to get back now. Please be safe, Princess.
And since you already know where the story is going, we kind of know what her wish is going to be. when she gets sucked into the Nexus, which we know she did get sucked into the Nexus.
There's no time. Excuse me. I'm on urgent business.
And I seriously
Your
doubt
eyes
there's
form
going to be a secret
Who are you?
bit of
What do you know?
information that reveals
Eris
the
Anne,
overall
a
story
humble priestess. I can save you from
in
the
some
sorrow that
leader's
awaits.
storyline here.
That is kind of you, but I can see off any threats myself.
Have you not failed once already?
I beg your pardon? What concern is that to you?
Oh, it is a great concern. The princess's life is in more danger than you realize. There is a secret nearly lost to history.
If you know something, then tell me now.
The daughter of King Balthazar was not the victim of consumption that most believe her to be.
What are you trying to say?
She was sacrificed to banish Urias Formon.
That's enough of your slander.
Interesting. So this must not be the evil Erica talking. Or maybe it is. So one of the other princesses apparently was bitten and maybe turned into a vampire herself.
Your strength is obvious.
Silence!
But if you do not know what is truly at stake, you will surely fail again. Either you destroy Urias, or the princess must be sacrificed to banish him once more.
Not another word!
Move with haste.
But then she just teleported.
Has she
Like
run back
the
to
shadows.
Urias? Her lies about the princess were meant to frighten me. The castle is in trouble. I have to get back. Princess!
I guess the story is slightly different here. The princess hasn't
Erica,
been
You're
kidnapped.
back safe. What happened to you?
Princess, you're okay.
You're crying.
It's just something in my eye.
It's fine, Erica. Everything's okay. That can't have been easy. I'll have to inform my brother that Urias has awakened.
I'm sorry.
I'll also say the
Most would
anatomy
have
on
fared
this
far
is
worse
a
against
little
an opponent like
bad.
Urias.
She has a pretty thin
I
neck
apologize for
for
sending
a
you on
pretty
such a
high
dangerous
cleavage, like
Could he have been holding
corset.
If it's Balthazar
Could
that
be
he's looking
realistic
for,
under
Urias
corset
might be heading
training.
for the royal mausoleum.
Not anatomically
That's
correct,
a strong
but people have
possibility.
accomplished
In that
such
case,
things.
He's likely
you-
already defeated our guards. We have
And
to act
perhaps a super
Ask now
long
and clear your mind,
forearm.
Erica. Before I leave, I'd be grateful for your opinion about something. Why might someone say Urias could only be banished in exchange for the life of a princess? Why?
Because it's true.
No, it can't be.
No, it can't be. And then we click next. So are you gonna fight her? Or are you just gonna have a fight for no good reason? So that gets us really quickly up to 6. Honestly,
There's
these
only one
cutscenes
course of action
might
left.
work better if they just
It's only a
played
matter of time before he comes for you, princess.
in a
I can't let that happen.
kind of loading
Urias will die by my
sequence.
hand.
Erica,
You are everything to me,
Yeah, if
and you will be safe.
it just forced
here
you
for
to
the
see
time
all
being.
these cutscenes and
Okay.
then it loaded a standard
Please
ranked
return
game
safely.
and that got you the daily
I
quest
will.
for ranked play
Farewell.
and that had you like actually playing ranked people,
I have one chance.
then you would probably not be as upset about this, about having to do the single player stuff. Although at that point it also you'd
Out of the
irritate a
way,
lot of people that just
now!
want to play the game, but they could always click skip. But I don't know if you really do need a single player experience like this when they're not really giving you puzzles or like well thought out challenges.
I will destroy you.
And so yeah, if I was gonna make a collectible card game somewhat based on this or revamp this, I would definitely change each of these battles to be shorter and more puzzle-like. Although, if you make them too puzzle-like, then they don't really make sense to new players. And it seems to me like this is the entire map of the world, for this chapter at least. So we're not going anywhere different. Which that's going to be fairly boring too. Like...
I'm late. Has Urias come this way? What's your status?
Please accept my apologies. A single warrior, likely Urias, has decimated our forces.
Withdraw now and direct any spare units to the castle.
Yeah, you're just a faceless soldier, where they probably should have shown one of the card characters.
More of them. How do they move so fast?
Odd that the shadow would
These
take the
beasts can't
form
have
of
anything to do
the
with
alchemist.
Urias. He'd have already used their power to sneak into the castle. You are interfering with the Crown's official business. Away with you!
And it seems like to me that he's trying to revive the princess. Not, who probably was a vampire lover of his.
Now where is Urias?
Allow me to answer.
You again.
Urias is making his way to the Morning Star. If you move quickly, you can defeat him and save the princess.
Say I decide to trust you. What would you get from this?
I get to save you and others from terrible pain and suffering.
She wasn't lying before, and I have nothing else to go on. Thank you.
This is the cause to which I have dedicated my life. May your despair become your liberation.
Yeah,
There will be time
I'm
for
still
more
not really
later.
sure what the idea
to save
and
the
what the
princess.
plan is by the Nexus, but clearly it failed miserably. Like, because if its plan was to get everybody trapped into their own dream world, it failed miserably to keep any of the leaders in it. Like all 7 or 8 of them that it captured seemed to interesting. This has a different checkbox. It looks, at least it seems different.
It's him! Urias Formond, adversary to the crown. You have breathed your last.
Though you are weak, you are passionate. Let us fight!
Yeah. Unless the goal is to get people to fight in front of the Morning
You
Star.
are stronger than when you intruded in my home. Show me more of what you have learned.
It would be my pleasure.
I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out she's a
What's going
princess. And here we're gonna get that same animation, I bet. Which, remember, this was like a 5-second animation where they showed the Nexus. Although, will the Nexus this time look like Larissa? Or will it look like somebody else? Nope, it's Larissa again.
I am Nexus. I bring unto the world harmony.
So
I am Nexus.
bring
That is
into
my
the
name.
world
I bring unto the world
harmony by trying to lock people
The
into
infinity gate hath
a
opened.
wish world.
Offer up thy woes, and the light shall be as thine eyes and thy flesh.
Which I guess theoretically from this point, because the leaders are broken up, Nexus
That thing.
does her little
Fear not. On the
door
other
opening
side,
animation
all pain is forgotten.
several times for several different leaders.
Stop! Princess!
And just click next, I guess. Yeah, even this though is fairly slow. And
Where am I?
showing
the throne
that
room?
they're getting sucked
No.
into the gateway and the
Perfect
door
timing, sleepyhead. Tea will be served
kind of
in
just
a moment.
confirms what's going on, where it would have made a lot more
Princess,
sense if there was
is that
just
you?
an explosion
I bought
and
these
then
teacups.
she
and
just
your
woke
favorite
up
blend of tea.
in a
on.
completely different place and had some
I don't think
uncertainty.
so.
And the
You
narrative,
look scared, Erica.
the
What's
viewer
wrong?
also
Did you
would
have a
know,
bad dream?
would also be confused as to
fake.
what's going on.
You're holding yourself all wrong, and the look on your face isn't right either. It's all wrong.
What are you saying, Erica? It's me.
Well,
Where is the real princess?
seems like
I need to
Erica
know.
figured it out way
told you.
quicker.
I'm right here.
I'll ask you again. Where is the princess?
Erica?
So you're not in the mood to answer. You may not be the real princess, but I beg your forgiveness all the same.
So it just kind of immediately attacked her.
I've got to find the real princess.
Now, it might be slightly interesting
Why do you reject serenity?
if
Who are you?
she got stuck in the same
This dream,
Dream.
is the cradle. You are meant to sleep until the hour of liberation.
I don't have time for these riddles. If you know where the princess is, tell me.
it feels like Nexus and Eris both just are terrible at understanding human emotion or manipulating humans. So I don't know why they would have even come up with such a complicated plan when it obviously was beyond them to actually accomplish it. They would have been better just to attack directly. Although I guess their Shadow Beast did attack directly and failed pretty miserably too.
I cannot understand.
Where is the princess? I need whatever information you have.
This is the world that you wished for. It is cut from the cloth of your longings and tailored to your desires. This is the power of the almighty Nexus.
I feel like there might have been some censorship
Humanity
here
is meant to wait for the hour of liberation in peace.
in the
My way
in the
is
original
just
Japanese
Of
form,
this much, I am sure.
where
What is that
there would have
supposed to
been
mean?
much more of a
Why do you
outright
insist on shedding
admission
bitter tears?
of
This
lesbian
isn't-
romantic interest.
This isn't supposed to be.
Did she really just teleport away? Is she gone? No. Focus on finding the princess for now.
What,
If
and the
anything
way
would've
she just
happened to her-
teleported is different than how she
To find her, I'll have to
teleported
track down that
before.
priestess. She should still be in the castle. That should do for now.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm forgetting something. Something important. I'm sure it's nothing. Even if it were, it wouldn't matter. Nothing is more important than finding the princess.
So yeah, they either messed up and used a different animation for the teleportation, or there are two different types of teleportation that the two heiresses use. And it does seem like Erica is still
At a
gonna
glance,
get
this
caught
does seem
in
like
the
the
stream,
castle, but it's totally different.
even though she
Why
knows
am I
it's a
here
fake.
alone, so far from the princess?
Because that is what you hoped for and wished for.
There you are!
This world was created for you. That is all there is to tell.
Created for me? What are you implying?
I am implying nothing and stating everything. This is a world for you, a dream built for your desires. Why must you and she reject the serenity that precedes liberation?
You're telling me my wishes brought this world into being? But that's impossible!
No, that is the reality, and I am relaying it to you as the keeper of the dream. All this world's occurrences are as you wished them. This dream is yours.
Tell me where the princess is, or else.
Never would I have imagined that humanity was so pitiful or so foolish.
Well, this is a new character.
Insolent fool! I will eliminate you!
It's no use calling your minions! Prepare yourself!
Yeah, they feel like they needed a reason to squeeze in another character, unless this is the princess in disguise. It'd be kind of funny if they wrote Erica as having kind of a secret hate for the princess, when the story has been implying kind of the exact opposite. But, you know, love-hate relationships certainly do exist.
No, this can't be. My way is just. I can't be mistaken.
Where is the princess? Answer me!
Simply wish, and she will appear before you.
So,
Erica?
I'm guessing...
What are you doing? It's time for tea.
What sort of illusion is this?
I wonder if
This is no illusion.
Eris
It is the
got
cradle of
caught
dreams that you yourself
into the
crafted.
Nexus first,
Seek
and
your
her
serenity
desire and
within.
dream created the
You
fake Eris.
unbearable-
Erica? Why are you so angry? You're scaring me.
Amplified the Nexus's power in such a way.
How could she do this? Make me kill the princess not once, not twice, but 3 times?
Well, at this point it would be 4
She
times.
won't get away with this!
Yeah, but this is definitely faster. This is much, much more reasonable to just skip it all, and then
Show yourself, priestess!
we'll see what the daily quests are.
Where could she be?
I'll probably just have
She's
to
gone
play
without a trace.
while I'm streaming every Monday,
I
Wednesday, and
searched in every
Friday.
corner of the castle.
I'll have to probably just play a
Every
little bit of
last
single
corner.
player content to get daily
This
quests
doesn't
done.
make any sense. Door after door, stair
And
after
as I get the
stair.
daily quests
There's no end
done,
in sight.
I'll get the
Why am I
rewards.
still in this room? Is this another one of her illusions?
Where's the princess?
It does.
It's an ambush!
Save me, Erica!
Princess? No, it's... Are you an illusion?
Enough! Bring me the princess this instant!
Yeah, I don't know how you would
Please!
really escape a
Who are
illusion.
you? What is this?
Like,
Stand down if you value your life!
the best thing I could say is
The princess!
if you're trapped in
Hand
an
her over
illusion, then
and
they
surrender.
probably don't want you to
Looks like I've got to
die. Otherwise, they would just kill you if you have enough power to put somebody in an illusion. So, cutting yourself, hurting yourself, seeing if that provokes a reaction is about the only thing I could imagine to do, depending on how the magical illusion world works. you could potentially swing your sword
It's
in
another illusion.
just random
Priestess.
directions in the air to see if maybe
Thank you,
there's
Erica.
something hidden,
You rescued me.
invisible in front of your eyes. But
Stay away! You aren't real!
I don't know if that
Your
would.
blade is beautiful.
But
radiant
nothing is like
and
really
pure.
guaranteed to work at all unless
You fake!
know magic to
You might
counter
say your
illusion
sword is
magic.
tarnished, Erica. But I don't believe it. That sword saved me. You are my gentle blade, Erica. Nothing in your past can change that.
Please stop!
Erica, protect me. And your past will be forgiven.
So now they're hitting upon some kind of
Stop!
past
Erica,
that they probably should have
protect
foreshadowed
me.
a long time ago.
Extinguish the past.
Why is the illusion talking about my past? My past. That past. Not even the princess knows about that.
Yeah, they needed to kind of foreshadow
All
this
this
stuff.
world's occurrences are as you wished them. This dream is yours.
Now we're flashbacking to something that happened barely 5 minutes ago.
That can't be true. There's no way. But if it is, then where does that leave me?
Yeah, and I keep just stalling after a point. And there definitely would be room. Let's just assume that her past is that she accidentally smothered the baby or something.
Took my wife and kids hostage. They made me join.
It would have been really helpful for Urias to mention that and irritate her.
Mission 1 complete. Now commencing mission 2.
Yeah, it does seem like she was.
My family. What'll happen to them?
Seems like she's killing
They have betrayed
people.
the crown. They will die as all traitors do.
Monster. You're a monster.
So that they're not even gonna animate any of that.
No, Erica. That's all behind you now. Now you are the princess's blade.
Erica, don't concern yourself with it. I forgive you. I accept you.
So we're kind of
You
getting the
fraud.
idea
Enough!
that she does not feel like she's
No matter
good
how
enough
much blood is on your hands, no matter how tarnished you may be,
to be with the
I
princess.
forgive you. I accept you.
She can't forgive herself,
Stop!
so she
How can you make the princess
can't
say that?
tolerate someone else forgiving her.
What need is there for such stridency? Is this not what you hoped for and wished for?
There is a decent thought to attack
isn't.
anything
No.
that just appears immediately in front of
Nexus
you
is
magically.
almighty. All within your heart is clear.
Just
to her.
immediately
So
kill
she
something
cannot
like that
bear.
because it's obviously so powerful that it's a threat.
No more! I won't allow this!
And that might break the illusion if you killed this magical heirs. But yeah, they really are stretching out the story in the late half here when there could have been a lot of
Your
character
own
build
heart
up
is a
in the
mystery
early
to you.
half.
Look inward and accept your desires. Admit them.
My desires? Are you trying to say that killing illusions of the princess was my desire?
No, not at all. What you wanted was forgiveness and acceptance from someone dear to you.
You! What do you know about me?
I naturally know all. I am the Keeper, the one chosen by the almighty Nexus to summon the Morning Star.
The Morning Star? Nexus?
We are getting some backstory,
I've heard those words before.
but it's
But
very
where?
little.
I know all
Backstory.
about you and the others, about your sorrows and the burdens you bear. You once served in another kingdom, not as a knight, not as a soldier, but as an assassin. You were the sword that cut down the kingdom's rebels. But once they were gone, there was no use for you.
There's always use for an assassin.
And what of it?
And
You were
I don't
forced
see
into
any reason
exile
why you would
and found your way here,
kill
where you
rebels with an
decided to
assassin in
serve
the
the
first place,
princess.
instead of executing
Why
him
did you hide your
publicly and
past
violently
from your
and
beloved
brutally.
liege? Were you scared of rejection? Did you fear your relationship would unravel? No. You attempted to purge the sins of your past by serving a new master. That is why you became her sword and her shield.
To claim yourself to be a sword
No,
and shield, it
I
would be
adore her.
helpful if she
I
actually
adore
had
the
a
princess
shield.
from the bottom of my heart.
Really, Erica? You don't have to lie to me. You killed countless men, women, and children thinking it was for the good of the kingdom. But you were being used. And once you learned that, you tried to pay penance. That's why you came to serve me. You hoped if you were dedicated enough, your sins would be erased.
Although,
I
why
forgive
not
you all the
become
same,
more of a nun
dear Erica.
instead of just a like royal guard?
I respect you, princess. I adore you, princess. Am I really only serving the princess to atone for what I've done? No, that can't be.
Will perfect serenity not set her heart at ease? It seems there truly is but one path to liberation.
Yeah, it seems like they're just kind of playing the same theme, that if they try to give a perfect dream, it gets rejected. Although, I would say they're probably failing pretty terribly to actually give a perfect dream. Also. We'll say that the main story is...
You're all suspected of murder. Damn it! All this blood on our hands for the nobility, for what? They're treating us like the rebels. You still have a future, Erica. Get out now and survive.
They're dead. All dead. Why? We did it all for the crown. Murder. What was it all for?
Yep, and we're not gonna see anything.
What's wrong, dear? I can see your body and soul hurting.
Yeah,
Do you
the
believe in fate?
story is way better
I know I do.
when you skip the games.
Would you come serve under me?
But it's still fairly
Ever since
long,
then, I've been...
and fairly
Everything I've
simplistic.
done has been for you. I've always believed that this was my fate.
And 4 years into
Is
it, they
that the
have like
truth?
9 chapters, so
There's
it
no
would have
need to
been
lie. You and I are too
been
close for
possible to have the first chapter just tell the
that.
story
You thought
of
you did the
Orisa,
right thing, but were punished.
and then the second
You
chapter tell
suffered
the
and
next story
grieved.
of like Erica,
And then you sought
and
a way to atone.
write better stories over a much longer amount
You
of
are
time.
weak. You are inadequate. Admit it. Accept it. And then bask in a dream all of your own.
But the princess meant...
If you cannot admit the truth, then I will make you admit it. If you cannot accept the truth, then I will make you accept it. You will overcome this sorrow.
If anything, it's almost like they're getting free therapy from the Nexus by accident.
When the hour of liberation comes, your anguish will be extinguished. Soon the pride that blinded you to your sins will be forgiven. For now, you must sleep.
The hour of liberation? That isn't real.
It is real, and it is bearing down upon us. But for the moment, you must abide in this world of dreams.
Now, we have no clue what the Hour of
Erica?
Liberation is.
You've done the best you could. Better than anyone. You owe it to yourself to rest now. You fled from that kingdom and arrived here in my court. That was fate. Our fate. Protect me. Be my sword and my shield. I will forgive you, and you will forgive yourself.
I will forgive myself.
It would
I
be
was never able to forgive myself.
interesting
I
if it
needed to
turned out the
forgive myself
princess
for my
did
deeds,
know
for those
of her
sins.
past and just never mentioned it.
Yes, this is how it should be.
But
Pray
we've
to
not
the
seen.
dream.
We have not seen any
Do not
evidence to
burden
that
yourself.
fact.
The almighty Nexus will liberate you. Liberate us all from our sorrows. All will return to nothingness.
Yeah, it's kind of a
Liberation. Will
Just-
I really?
bad writing, frankly, to introduce a character
All
and then
will be liberated.
have a
Yes.
dream version of that character
This is
have
as it
way
should
more
be.
characterization than
Once
the
it's
original
complete.
character.
But why? Why does it hurt so much? Liberation. Will the princess? Will I be liberated?
I guess this might be a suicide analogy. Allegory. If I can say that word right. Truth and troth. I don't know what troth means.
So now, Erica.
Yeah, I think in general,
let's have tea.
if the whole
It's your
story
favorite blend.
had just ended
Yes.
in front of the
You're looking a little
North
glum.
Star, or
Is
the
there
Morning
something on your
Star,
mind?
and they'd
No.
split the chapters in half, this would
Don't
be a
keep
lot more
secrets
manager
now,
too.
Erica. Just tell me what you want, and I'll give it to you.
Liberation. What is liberation? Will it make you happy? Make me happy?
It will. All the heartbreak and despair will vanish.
But how?
Nexus will extinguish this world without a trace. Not one little bit will be left behind.
Extinguish? But
So yeah, it's
Everything
basically
will
just
disappear.
annihilation and
Heartbreak,
nihilism.
despair, and all the rest.
but what about you?
I'll be extinguished too. Isn't it wonderful? Everyone will be liberated, and there will be no more sorrow. Come now. Let's have a spot of tea while we wait.
The whole world will disappear.
See,
Even you?
even the fake princess is doing a terrible job about keeping her
You
in the
are
dream.
everything to me.
Of course, I guess the
And you
story
will
would
be
end
safe.
immediately if the people didn't escape from the dream.
That's it. I came to the Morning Star to defend the princess, and then I was swallowed by the light.
Erica?
I faltered in my loyalty. I admit and accept that much. But I am still your sword, and I am still your shield. If I lose you, I lose my only way of paying penance for my crimes. I won't even be able to tell you about my misdeeds.
You are abandoning serenity and resisting liberation.
I wouldn't if your serenity and liberation were real, but they're not.
And it
This
just keeps
place isn't
going,
even a
and
dream.
it just keeps
It's
going.
not liberation that you're trying to bring. It's destruction. I can't allow this.
Why do you resist when the almighty Nexus offers her succor to you?
Thank you
Sucker.
for opening my
Not a
eyes.
traditional
I'd never paid attention
English
to
word.
the shadows eating at my soul, to the wicked deeds in my past.
Old English for, I believe,
But I
food
can't linger here any
and
longer.
drink.
I reject your twisted illusions and your
Or
liberation.
just maybe
I have
nourishment.
to own up to myself.
Why won't you comprehend? I want to liberate us all. This serenity is my gift to you.
Some people may be looking for liberation.
Hmm.
They may want to vanish or lose themselves in your illusions. But not me.
And then
There's still something I have
we
to
have
do.
the background music playing,
to
and we
see the
get like a speech
No
that,
matter whether you
that
meet your
seems
beloved,
like they
the
probably
future will not change.
worked a
matter
little
whether
bit
you
harder
stay or
on this
leave,
last
the
line of
hour of
dialogue than the
liberation
other
approaches.
lines of dialogue.
That might be, but I will resist. Resist for the princess.
part of the reason why
You are
visual
protecting the
novels are
princess
probably
because you want to be
longer
forgiven for your sins.
in
But the
English
forgiveness
than
you're looking
Japanese
for
is the fact that the
here.
Japanese language
I don't
takes
need to be forgiven
less
by an illusion.
space
Now
and
let me out.
basically implies a
The
lot of
world's
things, so
coming
it doesn't
apart
have to say
A
everything
chasm of sorrow is
completely
opening.
And the real world is
in
on the other
detail.
side.
You will find no serenity there.
So
I have to
I
go.
wouldn't be surprised
For
if
the princess
there,
and for
there's
myself. To carry out my duty
maybe
and atone for my
10%
misdeeds.
less sentences, or
I see.
maybe even 30% less words in the original Japanese.
Please forgive me, princess.
And when they
I'm
were
on my way to
localizing
protect you.
this and translating this to English,
Protect you from the ritual
that
to banish Urias and protect you
they
from this liberation.
may have added
Protect you,
quite a bit
no
of
matter what.
descriptive
I serve
lines of
you to pay
dialogue.
penance for my own sins. Once you're
That
safe,
would
I'll
certainly
confess all of my misdeeds to
explain
you.
some of the
That I
points
promise.
when the lips are not flapping at all. But in general, I think what they need to do is that they need to specifically they need to specifically have embraced the fast-paced anime style of talking and just having action happen over and over again. Okay, so where does that leave us? This is not cleared, so I would theoretically have to play this off screen, which is fine because it does help me quite a bit to have some off-screen time when I don't have to talk and can just play the game. And so I think what I'll try and do is I'll make an episode, we'll go through the story, and then I'll play the chapters off-screen, at least for this first part. Although there's just so much here when we really look at everything. At least if this is like one battle or 15 battles in total, that kind of works. But then when if we get to the Guild War and we have to do like another 15 times 8 leader, the 8 leaders battling together, that kind of doesn't work again. And yeah, there's just a lot of room here for this to go really, really long. But I can't imagine another way to accelerate this any further. Yep. And if we can get in 1 hour episodes, each of these parts done, is that what we want to do, or do we want to go for another hour, and do we want to do the next story? No, I think we'll just break it up that way. That'll just keep everything nice and tight. Even though it took us like 4 or 5 episodes to do Arissa's, it'll take us only about 1 hour to do Isabel's, then Rowan's, then Luna's, then Urias's, and then it's fairly obvious Eris's story reveals a lot, and then Yuan's story clearly is going to reveal the vast majority of the secrets. And we got a little bit revealed in the story, but not a lot. Not enough that I don't think you couldn't have easily, at the very least, merged this one and this one and this one all together. Like, these 3 people almost certainly are good guys, whereas this guy and probably this guy and this girl are gonna probably be closer on the bad guys list, and this is probably on the bad guys list too. Or you could have them separate, or you could break this up into 2 or 3 groups, and then that would have been, once again, an easier way to tell the story. What I didn't learn here is how to actually play the cards, but in all fairness, I really didn't learn that in the Orisa gameplay either, so that's just going to happen on its own by playing the multiplayer. So there is a fairly large argument to just skip the single player completely if you don't care about getting the rewards. If you were going to be a whale, for instance, and just buy a whole bunch of premium currency and buy all the cards and just ensure you have everything. And it still definitely feels like you could play this in a real world paper format, but I've yet to see that there actually is a real world paper format. Although in all fairness, that I have not looked in any toy stores or stores for collectible card games in probably a decade or two, so I have no idea what is available for sale. Would we have made any real progress? No, I don't really think so, because all the progress and all the score rewards are inherently synergized around other things. And I guess score rewards are your monthly season rewards, so I need to get my score way up. I'm at like 300, and then all the achievements are still actually playing real games and reaching levels, which odds of you reaching those levels by doing the single player stuff doesn't make sense. And I don't think this daily mission that I have right now needs to be replaced, but my next daily mission will start in, I believe, 11 hours. So yeah, there's kind of a large burden here. Like, it would have been a lot easier for me to have just stayed with Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering Arena, but might as well try this now. And then, of course, when the Marvel collectible card game from Second Dinner comes out, if I get in on the initial launch, there'll be such a small amount of content there to start with. It'll be very doable to play the game as it grows, instead of playing Shadowverse as a brand new player 4 years in and having to do a lot of stuff that wasn't here. Particularly the single player stuff probably only had chapter 1 when it first launched, and probably a month later released chapter 2, and then it probably waited 4 to 6 months before it released chapter 3. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.